supposed to be doing a demo video right now. Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you down there. So I thought I'd do my video on stocks and stock manipulation. I was looking at hot topics online and stock seems to be it. So I've already cut up a piece of stock right here for you guys on the chop saw. Not what this video is going to be about, no siree. Today we're going to learn about the Swag off-road roller. That's what's going on today. So if you've ever seen some of my annoying trippable work on the, surface of the shop floor, you might have seen some of these guys laying around. Now these are actually different than what I'm going over with y'all today, but I just wanted to bring this up so you can kind of see the notches that are in this piece. It might be a little easier on the side. I've got these lines. This thing was made on the pipe bender. Now that thing's like horizontal. It's a completely different tool. Not what we're talking about today. It's a great way to bend like larger pieces of stock. But as you can see, we get all these like not great textures right up in there. We don't like all those notches. We don't want to see those. We want a smooth curve. Something else you might have tripped on over the shop before is this guy. This guy I made using the Swag off-road roller. Using Swag all the time for this baby. Woo! So, a bunch of circles, right? And you're looking at this every day in the shop and you're like, man, I want to be making a bunch of circles. How do I be making a bunch of circles? Well, you too can be making a bunch of circles. It's easy. I'm just full of circles, guys. You can just roll up a circle and have it for yourself. So that's what we're going over today. We're going to be going over some good old-fashioned circle making. Woo, woo, woo! Alright. Hold your horses, everyone. Now, before we can start getting real swaggy with it, we gotta go over some safety features. I know, I hate safety. Said no one ever. What the heck? Don't you wanna, not die? Isn't that what this is all about for the most part? So, anytime I get in the UNF shop, I'm wearing these bad boys. These are steel toe boots. I highly recommend wearing steel toe boots when you're in the shop. With all the heavy stuff, you can drop on your pixies. You don't want that. Now, the metal that we're using today, it ain't that heavy, ain't that much. You know what I mean? It's about, it's a 40 schedule. It's like a 1/4 inch diameter in there. So like, if I dropped the stock that I caught up on my toes, it wouldn't break them, but I'd have like a not fun time. And then, honestly, I could use it to beat my toes, probably break them then. But the point is, you should at least, at the very minimum, be wearing some closed-toed shoes. And God forbid, not a pair of freaking Toms. I'm talking about at least a Massimo Target brand pair of boots, y'all. But not the little old canvas flats, y'all. Cover your feet, protect your feet. Nobody ever plans to have a piece of metal go flying into their foot, I promise you. I did not plan for that to happen, but now I have to live with the hole in my foot, all right? Now, the next thing you're looking at besides my super cool boots, whoop, I might fall. Besides the boots, you're looking at the Swag, the glasses, and you're thinking, do I need me some of those to cut up and make some circles? No, you don't need these at all. Throw them in the dumpster. I'm not throwing these in the dumpster. I like them too much. What you're gonna wanna have is a pair of these boys. You know they belong in the metal shop because they're spray painted hot pink on the side, but you can find these in the metal crib of almost any of our shops here at UNF. They're just a pair of safety glasses. This is the safety part of the video. You're gonna wear the safety glasses for the safety. Again, no one plans to get a bit of metal wedged in between their eye, but this is to prevent that from happening. No metal in my eye because of these guys. Or honestly, not even just a chunk of metal. You're gonna be chopping up stuff. That's gonna create debris, it's gonna create dust. You don't want debris and dust in your eyes. You just don't. For the sake of this video, for when I'm doing this earlier and showing y'all, or later, not earlier, but when I'm showing y'all later, I'm not gonna have the next thing on so I can hear myself talk and hear other haptics going on in the shop. And I honestly do not use these when I'm using a pipe roller, but there is a little bit of noise gonna be involved. So you might, if you're using something long term, you might wanna grab a pair of these as well. Anytime you're using a power tool for like an extended period of time, just to protect your little eardrums. I'm just making one circle with y'all today, ain't gonna be that bad. If I was working on this all day long or whatever, I might have these on. So, you got your safety glasses, you got your boots on. Other things to keep in mind is notice that I don't just have a mask on my face, I have a mask on my head. You don't need to cover your hair. We're not having a bunch of sparks flying around. This ain't Valentine's Day anymore. But what you are gonna have is rolling bits. And what I have is dangly hair. So I make sure I tie it up and I pull it back all out from my face. This necklace right here, this swag chain right here, that's coming off too, baby. Now, it's kind of close to my neck, so it'd probably be safe, but I don't like taking my chances in the shop. Certainly not for a demo video. So that goes in the dumpster too. Now, you got everything covered. You're wearing yourself a pair of pants. Don't wear shorts, dudes. I'm gonna be wearing my short sleeve shirts. It's a little warm outside today. You do not need to have a long sleeve shirt on, but it always helps, again, if you're gonna get nicked by a random piece of metal. I take my chances sometimes with things like that. Anytime you're using something heat related though, like the plasma or the MIG welder, that's when you want your sleeves on. Not necessarily heat, but just because of the electricity and the light illuminates, you're gonna get a sunburn from any of that stuff. Now, what is another big safety feature that you're thinking about right now? You're probably thinking, why ain't she got a pair of gloves on? Where's the gloves here? You might recognize these from the shop, and you might be saying, I might want to put on a pair of gloves to use this tool. No, you don't. Don't wear gloves. Do not wear gloves. Do not wear gloves when using this tool. Don't wear gloves when using this tool. Don't wear gloves when using this tool. Don't wear gloves when using the tool. Do you have gloves on? Take them off. There's the dumpster. Throw them in there. Don't throw our gloves in the dumpster. Get rid of the gloves though. We're going to be working with a piece that I'll show you guys soon enough. But it's got rolling components. Alright? So that's why we got rid of the dangly bits and why I'm going to make sure that these are kind of tucked into my ponytail a little bit more. We don't want something getting caught into the rolly bits because it's just going to roll on through. So it's going to pull whatever it catches. That's how it works with our... Excuse me. No one was talking to you down there. Now, how this is going to work is we're going to feed our metal into some rolling bits. It's going to catch that metal, pull it on through. So if my hair was up in that place, if my chain was up in that place, it would get pulled on through. And what comes directly after my necklace gets pulled through? My beautiful, lovely, money-making face. What gets pulled through after my hair? The rest of my scalp. So, if I'm wearing a glove on, which is a fabric condom on my hand, what's gonna get pulled through? The glove. And then what else is gonna get pulled through that machine? Yeah, your hand. Jenny's got a metaphor or a story about one of the other tools, the pipe roller that we already have in the shop, not the swag off-road roller. A little confusing, I'll show you guys both so you know the difference here in a second. But that story, she uses the word grapes. Grapes to describe a man's hand, and I don't like thinking about grapes and I don't like thinking about men's hands, so we're not going to wear gloves when using this tool. So let me go ahead and show you all what we'll be working on today. Hey there y'all, it's me again. So now I'm going to show you this swag off-road roller today. I brought it out of the shop because it's a little noisy in there. Ethan's using the angle grinder. Ethan, stop using the angle grinder. If you're watching this right now, Ethan, put down the angle grinder. It's loud. Now, if you've used the other pipe roller in our shop before, maybe to roll up some pencil rod circles, this is going to kind of make a little bit of sense, because that, you've got those indentions that you feed your pencil rod through, and then it rolls between those thick cylinders, right in between them cylinders, right on through that. This, which I'll grab my phone and bring a little closer to you guys here in a second, has a few main components. We've got our electric pipe threader, is technically what this guy is called. He's the big old battery that's going to power and feed on our metal through. So when we like get this plugged in, it just gets plugged in into a good old outlet thing. You're going to press this button down here, and it's going to go, and then your metal's going to go through that thing. So let's get a little closer into the action here, okay? I'm going to bring you guys with me. I'm going to pick you up. Now just hold on tight. Whee! Whee! Okay, right here, here's our electric pipe threader I was just showing you guys. Now, it's got a reversal direction here too. That's just gonna, it's the arrows. So if it's switched onto here, your metal's gonna go that way. If it's switched over here, your metal's gonna go this way. Very important thing to know, because if you're standing here, you're standing right here where I'm standing, you got this thing switched to go this way, where's your metal gonna go? It's gonna go this way towards you. So, you know, make sure you're not standing right here. Make sure that you're not standing right here, because that's where your metal comes out of. You wanna stand on the side of this tool while you're using this tool. So, some other components now that I've kind of, you know, showed you guys the magic a little bit. This is what the middle of this guy looks like. Honestly, not that complicated. We got an iron ton, 2-ton hydraulic bottle jack in here. If you've ever been on the unfortunate situation of having to change the tire on the side of the road of your car, you've used one of these suckers before. That's all that is. So that's just jacking something up. It fills up with more hydraulic fluid, so it's going to add more pressure with the exchanging of fluids in the chambers in this boy. And how to manipulate that is real easy. We have this great tool that it came with. So this is your little screw right here. We just make sure it's already tightened up, but if we wanted to be able to lift this, we would just use this, you know, kind of, this is more circle, this is more less circle. I think the kids in 2D design call it an oval. You usually just bash, you know, some kind of spare piece of stock with a hammer so you can get a little more squared off end. But then that's going to be like our little wrench that we're going to use. And we're going to twist that. And that's going to be able to open that. Now the last person that probably screwed this on was maybe like Lance, or maybe Amanda's super strong. She's probably really strong. I ain't Amanda, and I'm definitely not Lance last time I checked. So let me just set you guys right here and add a little bit more strength to my grip. Oh, okay. Now I've got that twisted off. So this, I'm not pulling the screw out at all. I'm just loosening about like 2 clicks. That way I can take this tool now and push up on that. Now I don't get enough leverage. This isn't long enough. So that's why I've got this other longer piece of stock here to get more leverage, to be able to pull that up a little bit. Okay. We're actually as up as we're gonna go on this. I did this backwards, so I'm just gonna show you again. We're gonna tighten that up like that. I'm gonna stick the circle end in here that's fatter, and I'm gonna jack. So as you can see right now, this part gets lower as I jack. And that's more pressure being added into these chambers here that's pushing everything down. Now I can't jack and go up, I only go down. So again, that's when I take my squared off part. I'm gonna twist it open just a little bit, just enough to like release the pressure in there. Then I'm gonna take my other longer piece of stock, more leverage. Whew. And I'm gonna do this from the other side, honestly, guys, I'm sorry. That's what's gonna screen our boy up a little bit. There we go. So that's how you lower, that's how you raise, and I just always make sure you tighten your tool back up. One time I was, having problems with the bottle jack, and I unscrewed this screw like a whole bunch. And Lance came over here and he was trying to figure it out. Well, the pressure was off, and so when he jacked it, it ended up shooting the hydraulic fluid out the other side. And where was I standing? Right in the middle where I told you guys not to stand. And what was I not wearing? Those safety glasses got that fluid right in my eye. That's why you don't stand there. That's why you always make sure the screw's screwed on. All right, guys. So now we know how to go up or down with that. Just some other little features that I want to show you. These guys right here, they're called dies. Now, we've used dies also in other pieces, in the pipe bender of the shop as well. But this is what your metal's going to rest on. And then it feeds through to that one. And then fun fact, if we come over, whoa, what's that over there? Another one on the other side. So that's pretty cool. We've got actually like quite a few different dies in the shop. So varying different sizes. This is first honestly like some square, much smaller stuff. This is smaller than what we've got. Some more pieces over here as well. If you look at the Swag off-road site, they've got like over 80 designs of these, and there's honestly like a lot of artist designed ones as well. Things like the treadle hammer also use dies. But a die is basically, it's going to be any place that your metal is going to sink into. So my metal is going to take the form of this die kind of thing. So I'm using round pieces. I got round dies here. If your metal is much smaller than what you're using, you might want to switch out, if your die is much larger than the metal that you're using, you might want to switch these out for some smaller ones. It's okay to have your die be bigger than your metal. It is definitely not okay to have your metal bigger than your die, because then what's going to happen is if I took like a huge thick piece of metal right here, it's going to sink into these sharp edges right here, and I'm going to get these sharp indents on the side of my metal if it's too big. This guy is also very important. As we can see, he is clamped the heck down. He is clamped in 3 different places to this table. He's pretty heavy, so he's not going anywhere now. But again, it's important to check those clamps before you start working, making sure everything's secure. All right, so we know how to lift this guy up and down. We know what the dies are and what it does. I think it's about time for you guys to start seeing some action. Sorry guys, I couldn't find the safety glasses for the next part of this video. I've been what's that, guys? On your head? On your head? Oh, these don't go here. They go here. Well, now that's in place, we can move on with the next part of the video. I'm actually going to pick you all up again and get in the action again so we can see how to set this up properly. We kind of more or less understand how to use this, but how do we use this? I started sticking my stock in there, but if we come over this way, he kind of stopped short. Uh-oh. He won't go in any further because he's getting stopped by how high this guy comes up. These guys go in this little divot. You can't fix how high they come up, but you can fix that boy. So we're going to do our nifty-difty trick. Again, where I loosen this, which I really can't do with one hand. I'm trying to do that with one hand, y'all, again. Okay. Oh, you guys go for a ride again real quick. Just let me loosen this up. Alright, I've loosened my guy up a little bit. I'm taking my extra piece of stock so I can lift the guy in the middle a little bit again. need because I'm going to tighten it here in a second. So I just wiggle my guy up on through. Now, important about your, whenever you're bending metal, you're going to have this thing called dead stock. I know we all feel dead on the inside, but this is dead on the outside. The two outside edges of your stock are going to be dead. That means there's always just a little bit of metal that's going to hang off when you set it through these dies or whatever. Imagine if we were this short or whatever. That wouldn't get bent because it doesn't fit onto the die. It doesn't go through the process. So it's just going to be about like 1.5 inches, 2 inches of stuff that doesn't get bent. It's still straight at the end. So you want to compensate for that when you're designing and making your piece. Now, those circles I showed you earlier, they've got a diameter of 33 inches. 33 inches? How long was your piece of stock before you bent it then? 40 inches? No! That thing, before I bent it, was 103 inches. The stock that we've got right up in here, that guy's 75 inches. Now, if you guys remember math, if you guys remember math, you're going to kind of vaguely kind of sparkle, think about the formula for circumference. So I had a piece of 75-inch stock that I cut, and what I did is I divided that by pi. That gave me my diameter, or my radius, times 2. So the diameter of this piece, oh y'all, I got it written down, boop, 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 is 23.87. So that's how much across I'll have in my circle once I've bent my 75 piece of stock. So you can kind of look, this is again circumference right here. I knew my 75 number, so I did this equation backwards over here. But if you know what your radius is, or at least if you know how much you want to be across, you can just do this equation right here to get your end length number right there. Alright, so I've got this guy set up. Again, I don't want him like just on the edge here. I want him to hang off just a little bit, guys. Alright. Are you guys ready to see some stuff happening? Now, I'm not turned on because I ain't pressed any buttons, but I am officially plugged in. So we're about to have some power, baby. We're about to have some stuff happening. Let me, guys, get you a little bit rested right here. Oh, you want to stand up? Okay, you can stand up, buddy. All right, here we go. Remember, I've got these on for anything that I don't plan for right now. And again, I'm checking this arrow guy up here, making sure that I've got it switched to the direction I want to feed the metal. Since I have all my metal here, I want to shoot it that way. So I've got my arrow facing the right direction. I've made sure that this screw is tight again after I've been manipulating it. So that's happening before we're doing anything fun either. Then I'm just going to turn it around to get that edge. I'm going to jack it a little bit, increase the pressure, make sure that we're sitting down on my guy. You don't need to have him so tight bent in there that it's bending your piece of metal already. But you want to make sure you don't. I'm wiggling it because it's so long and we're not supported over here. But if you can see this over here, this isn't going anywhere, okay? We don't want wiggle. All right, I'm tight. My screw's tight. My arrow's the right direction. I'm plugged in. These are on my head because they keep fogging up, but I'm putting them on my eyeballs right now, on my eyes, right here for you guys. Let it rip. Probably looking at this and thinking, this is a straight line. No, it's not. It's ever so slightly curved. I promise you guys. That was very slight. As you can see, I stopped here with my little bit of dead, okay, that's got to hang off the edge, because I'm not going to show this to you. I'm going to describe it to you, but let's say I don't stop right there. I stop here. I let my metal keep going. and then there's nothing to support this end of the metal. So what happens over here is this is going to shoot forward. You don't want it to shoot forward. You don't want it to hit someone else in the shop, something else in the shop, or ricochet off a wall and hit you. So you want to make sure you stop with some place to sit. And it rolls a little bit extra. So I stopped it when it was about like here out to make sure that it would stop actually here. Because I stopped pressing my button when I was here, and then it rolled ever so slightly just to stop there, which was perfect because we don't, again, want it coming off this edge and shooting forward. So, it looks very slight because we need more pressure on the pressure. Need more pressure on the pressure, don't you? What? Pressure on the bottle jack. Okay. Going to increase the pressure right now. I'm going to set you guys up and we'll watch round 2. This is why we changed the direction. Now I'm going to use that direction button to change directions again. And send it through the other way. Let me jack it once more. Just for fun, you guys. Change my direction. Doesn't it? So that's basically what you're doing. You're going back and forth forever till you make your circle. So now I'm changing the direction. I'm jacking a little bit more to increase the pressure. Now, before, you can increase the pressure each time because basically you curve. When you curve your metal, you're creating more space in between that and the die, allowing you to add more pressure in between that space that you're creating. So I'm jack her up again, and now I'm going to send her forward. Alright, let's go! So, I forgot to change the direction of my arrow. That was fun to do on the video, wasn't it? Alright, let's change the direction of the arrow. There we go! You heard those little squirt bits at the end. I just wanted a little less dead on the end. Sometimes it's okay to stop it kind of long and squirt below there. Now we're starting to get a full round curve on that side. Can y'all see that from over there? That is tasty. Oh, we love it. I'm gonna do what? What am I doing? Add more pressure. Change the direction of the arrow. Text your grandparents after this video and tell them how much you love them. Guys, so now we've got a more severe curve. Again, you're just going to do that back and forth again. I don't want this video to go over the 30-minute time limit. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. Thank you all so much.